Howdy, friends. Welcome to Repertoire. This is a show about the ideas, experiences, philosophies, and rituals that shape who we are as chefs and cooks. I'm Sammy Mansour, Michelin award winning chef, cookbook author, and food activist. My life revolves around food and cooking, and I love geeking out about the craft and the culture. In each episode, I travel somewhere new to sit down with chefs and food personalities on their turf for honest, unfiltered conversations. We talk shop, we go deep, we cook. Today, I'm in the U Street corridor of Washington, D.C. Once known as Black Broadway for its arts and entertainment scene, this neighborhood is renowned for its rich history as a center of African American culture, music, nightlife, and food. Some of my favorite bites around these parts include spicy chili half smokes at Ben's Chili, the Cajun fried catfish at Florida Ave Grill, and the tasting menu experience at Elmina. Which brings me to my guest today. Chef Eric Adjepong is a first generation Ghanaian American who's made it his mission to bring West African cuisine to the center of the culinary conversation. A graduate of Johnson & Wales and the University of Westminster with degrees in both culinary arts and public health, Eric honed his craft in Michelin-starred kitchens before making waves as a finalist on Top Chef and returning for All Stars. He's currently a host on two Food Network shows, Wildcard Kitchen and Alex vs. America. In 2025, he released his first cookbook, Ghana to the World, and opened his highly anticipated first restaurant, Elmina. Chef, I am super jazzed to be here. Thanks for having me in here.
Absolutely, Sammy, man. Dude, thank you so much. When I heard the word that you were interested, I was humbled. I think you're doing an amazing job being able to follow. We just met, not too long ago.
Yeah.
But when you feel like you know somebody via social media, it's like, oh shit, yeah, we could be friends. Like we could be cool. So I'm happy to have you here in my space. You came to the restaurant. Welcome in.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping we can be friends. I had to come through with my Bronx Bombers
Yes,
swag on.
sir. I love it, man. As soon as you came in, I was like, "Wait, are we doing this?" Like that Step Brothers moment.
Yes.
Yeah, I have my Yankee hat on. You had your hat on as well. You threw on the gear, man. And listen, man, that's the best way to break ice with me, man. As long as you're a Yankee fan, like all the other affiliates, man, you're fine with me. You're family. Yeah.
I love that. Well, man, all right. I want to talk about my experience the other night at Elmina. We got the tasting menu. I went with Chef Kyle Bailey and his wife Tiffany, who was a professional pastry chef for many years. She actually was like, she got like Eater's Pastry Chef of the Year
Yep.
award. She got nominated for Best Pastry Chef by Beard a couple times. Like she's like fucking triple vetted OG.
Legit.
And so the three of us were there together and we just had this phenomenal experience, And to me, I think that's when you know that this is a chef's chef, is when the dining room is filled with people from all walks of life. You see joy in their eyes. They're actually there to eat, and chefs fucking dig it too.
Yeah, man, that's the best compliment, truly, that I can receive, man. Like I know exactly what you mean when you say a chef, man. I really love, the people who are vetted in this industry that we're in, who have seen the highs and the lows and have been, you know, just thoroughbreds, man, and been here throughout and tasted damn near everything, and they can come and still experience something new, some joy, some like freshness. That's truly the best sort of remark, man. And then also just like you mentioned, just seeing people kind of from all walks of life in DC, which is an eclectic town on in and of its own, come through and enjoy what we're doing at Elmina, man. That means the world.
So getting into that tasting experience, there was an amuse bouche. It was a scallop crudo. I love scallops. This was probably the best scallop, raw scallop preparation that I've ever had, and I
Too
truly
kind.
mean it. And everybody at the table was floored by it.
Too kind. Oh shit, that means a lot, bro. Yeah, that's it, when I do a tasting menu or when I go, to a space that's offering, an experience journey through food or whatever, I love a punchy first bite. It's gotta be either slightly spicy, acidic, fatty, something that sort of, like, just, like, wakes you up as far as your taste buds, man, and, that scallop crudo, man, we do it with, coconut and quince or a gazpacho, so to speak,
Hmm.
and then we have, this lemon basil granita, and that has that, like, pucker value that just, like, gets to the back of your, your palate. And then the scallops are sweet, oceanic, and then a little bit of crunch from the quinoa just for texture. Yeah, man, I try to think about it all in that one little bite, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it was actually like 4 bites, which I thought was and then I
Yeah.
drank the little cup,
Yeah.
like a small dish with a lip on it, and I drank the coconut,
Yeah.
gazpacho.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so good, I was like, "I'm not leaving this behind."
Ah, cheers. It's like that little last bit of, like, cereal milk.
Yeah, the leche.
That leche, man, you gotta get it all before it goes.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and they were top tier scallops too.
Cheers, bro.
Um, it was so exceptional and pleasant for me because I put that into how I do scallops because I think that there's like a bar on how good something can be.
Sure.
And if you can figure out how to crack that code and do it, it's like this amazing thing that you have in your repertoire.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you could change out the set, but put out a great raw scallop dish for the rest of your life
Yeah.
because you figured it
You
out.
figured it out. Oh, that's a great
And
way to put it, man. I like that you said it better than me, man. Like when we first started coming up with the tasting and like what could be that first sort of like boom, sort of like, hey, you're here. Like welcome to Elmina kind of bite.
there was this like condiment that I wasn't familiar with. I think it's called shito
Shito.
and
Yeah.
shito.
Perfect.
And it's like this jammy,
Yeah.
fucking thick, funky and when I first tasted it, I thought there was anchovy in it, and then I processed it, and I was like, "Does this have, like, dried crawfish in it?"
Quite literally. Yes.
And
Yeah.
which the only reason why I kind of as someone who wasn't familiar with it, years ago, I was studying from afar, of course, I was trying to study West African food cooking staples,
Yeah.
techniques, etcetera, because I'm a student of the Southern kitchen, and most of what we think of now as Southern food, is rooted in slavery, right?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
comes from West African people. And I learned about the dehydrated crawfish powder, and I ordered some from Africa.
Yeah. It's funky. It's like it's pungent. You know exactly what it is when you smell it. And it's bro, jammy, it's, ginger garlic pureed together, like, equal parts, and then we throw tomato paste in there, chilies, and then, crawfish, the dried crawfish, and just let that cook low and slow until it gets dark and jammy, and that is, like, our version of an exo sauce. That is just
Yeah.
yeah, it's what we go to, it's what we put on everything. I throw that shit on everything. It's so damn good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you liked it, man.
Yeah, it was rad, and, dude, that would be good to use as a pinçage too.
Ooh,
Um,
I never thought about that.
here I go fucking ruining other people's cuisines.
I never thought of it. No, that's not a ruin. That's like that's a level up, bro. Like, get it bronzy and rusty and then throw something else on it. I would love that. I'm gonna
Nice.
put that in my back pocket.
I'm coming through when you do it, when you do it.
You know what I really feel like right now? You ever see the scene in what is it? The Hangover when he's like has that math equation in front of him. I feel like we just
You're,
opened up.
like, seeing it?
I'm seeing it now. That's a great call. That's a really, really good call. Beautiful mind.
Thank you, chef. So the jollof rice, this was really exceptional. You do like a three-way duck jollof rice. It was something that I've heard about as a staple of your cuisine, and I had to have it, had to try it. And I also like love that I've heard that nutmeg is very critical for you with
Yeah,
jollof. It's how your mom did it,
yeah,
and I could definitely taste it in there, right?
for
Like,
sure. Yeah, there's absolutely not making there. It's one of my favorite ingredients. It's my mom's favorite ingredient, legit. Watching her cook, one of the best home cooks I've ever been around. And she would use various nutmegs, like the classic mace nutmeg, and
Mm,
then there's a calabash nutmeg that's indigenous from Africa and Ghana. And she would use it in so many different ways, sweet applications, savory applications, with a deft hand. And it's like it I think in the American palate, we think of nutmeg like seasonally, like Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like those moments.
mhm,
But
mhm.
I love using it again as like it's like a secret weapon, man. Because when you do it and it's with the deft hand, you start to like ponder, like, where is it? Where's it coming from? What's that like really earthy, warm spice coming from? And it's in the jollof rice. As classically made, man, the way my grandmother's grandmother's grandmother would have made it, probably without like the blenders and the high tech, like,
Right.
things that we have in the kitchen now. But the process is like the 1, 2, 3 of it all is all the same. And that's, I think, another hallmark of the restaurant and a lot of my cooking is to bring very, very traditional, like, I don't want to mess with the way it was made. It's the way it's supposed to be made. But then, like, slap it in the face with, like, duck 3 ways. Like, holy shit. Like, that's never
Yes.
been paired. So we paired the duck. We paired the jollof rice rather with the duck. It's a confit duck leg. We have a duck breast and a duck egg. And if you know, you know, with a lot of Ghanaian food, there's an egg somewhere in the picture, man. Whether it's boiled, whether it's fried, there's always an egg there. So to throw the duck egg in there, and then we brush the leg and the breast with a tamarind glaze, so sticky, tacky, tangy,
Mhm.
and then that shito that you mentioned, roasted tomato salad. It's objectively our best selling dish in the restaurant. We can't,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's like your
it's the
signature
same,
dish, whether
yeah.
you like it or not,
Exactly, yeah.
because, like, people hear this story and they're like, "I need to experience that,"
Yeah,
especially because it's, like, based off your tradition and your ancestry and your growing up, but you've taken your career and put it on top, with the duck,
yeah.
which is rad, and also, like, I love nutmeg and duck too, which is, like, a funny thing because I think, like, classic French cooking,
Mhm.
Asian cooking, like, nutmeg is critical for me
Yep.
in, like, a Chinese
Chinese
five-spice
fried rice,
duck,
yes, yes, 100%.
and
My favorite
and
way.
mace is rad too
Yes.
in a five-spice. It's not traditional, but I like it.
That's a good call, yeah. I've never thought about having mace because you think what? It's, the cinnamon, clove, right?
Nutmeg,
Nutmeg.
Szechuan
Yes, sir,
peppercorn,
yeah,
and I feel like it could be ginger. I feel like the 5th one with any five-spice, every culture has a five-spice
yeah.
that could be a 10-spice.
True, yeah.
Like Baharat could be a five-spice,
Mhm.
or it could be a
It
7-spice.
could be one
But
of those, yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe like Ras El Hanout,
all of it.
like it could all be very basic or 15 ingredients.
Right, right, which also, like, creates the great debate about, like, who has the best, what region, what country,
Mhm.
what culture, and it makes food fun, man, like, it's not a monolithic sort of experience, man, like, the way you cook, even though we're sort of following very loosely the same sort of rubrics of how to make these spices or a pinkage or, whatever base or soups or stocks or whatever, you can play jazz, within it, and you can have
Yeah.
fun and, you do your own thing, and your experiences are definitely like, um, come from where you live and, where you grew up, how you grew up, places you traveled, chefs that you worked with, like all that shapes you.
Um, uh, One of my biggest regrets right now in my life is that I didn't come in for brunch to try these roasted banana grits.
Ooh, don't I'll send you home with some, man. That shit's fucking good. It's so good, man. Cheers, bro. I love that dish. I think it's my favorite brunch dish on the item, man. On the menu. We take bananas and we roast them until the skins are just black, like charred black. And then we scoop all that beautiful, like caramelized banana, blend it, and then that becomes like the base for our stone ground grits. So we take the grits and then we start savory. It starts with shallots and garlic. Sweat that out. Add the grits in there. Cook it down, almost like a risotto,
Mm,
right? and then start to layer in the milk, a little bit of chicken stock, and then we finish it with those beautiful roasted bananas and a little bit of mascarpone cheese
That's
and
cool.
little sugar too, just a
Yeah,
touch,
yeah, just like a seasoning
just the
to
seasoning,
round it out.
100%, not
Yeah,
like heavy handed, but just to round it out. You're saying,
yeah.
um,
Yeah, like even hot sauce needs enough sugar to round it out or
yes,
else it's just
yes, it's
flat.
just flat,
Like you don't want it sweet, but
right?
it's a seasoning ingredient
Exactly.
sometimes.
When and that's one thing I really that seasoning, that deft hand, just delicate. I try to like push to the chefs, man. Like you don't use it as it's intended to be sweet. Use it to balance. And like season with integrity. Just don't season it just because it looks cool to,
Mhm,
throw it up in the air and
mhm.
you know what I mean? Do it with meaning and purposefulness. And that's exactly what the sugar's for. So those it's just a fun. I got to be honest. Shout out to one of my favorite chefs, Brian and Michael Voltaggio, who started this idea for me. And I took the baton and I was like, man, I'm running with this. This is so freaking good. One of my favorite like books, vault cookbooks ever. But more than that, man, when they introduced that idea, I think it was Michael specifically to me. I was like, bro, I'm gonna put that in my pocket and I gotta run because
Let
it
me ask
fits
you
well. Yeah.
this. Is it a dry roast on the banana? Are you putting the bananas in skin on
Skin
whole?
on whole, yeah, dry
Dry
roast,
roast,
exactly, 450,
450. Okay.
like, get it black as fast as you can. Yeah, 450, sometimes we drop it, a little bit, but they can take a beating, because 'cause they're protected under that, like,
Mhm.
the skin, and then when it comes out, it's steamy, it's caramelized, it has a texture, and a flavor profile almost uh, like a Foster's, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
the bourbon or whatever.
Mhm.
And
And are they like medium ripe, full ripe? What's the
I go medium ripe,
Okay.
yeah. So there's a little bit of like a sugar process that's happening already, and then you let the slow roast or the roast rather sort of take it all the way.
Right on.
Yeah,
And my wife Cassidy, she's the one that told me about that dish. We love shrimp and grits, obviously. I mean, we live in the low
yes, sir.
country.
Yeah.
It's a staple on our brunch menus at any of our restaurants for the last 10 years. And you've already found this out. It will be your number one seller.
Oh man,
Everybody's coming for the shrimp and grits.
thank you, man. It's that's definitely on our brunch menu. We do brunch once a week. And it is by far, just like the jollof rice is for dinner. That shrimp and grits dish, man, we sell that like nobody's business, man. It's just fun and people, that classic sort of conversation about sweet or savory,
Mhm.
we're doing both. Like it's
Yeah.
both in there, and it's done very delicately, and I think both, like, sides of that party or that debate rather come in and they leave equally happy. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really smart. Years ago, I started making these maple roasted blueberry grits for Christmas. I don't know why, but
Oh, this
sometimes,
is
I cook with color, and so I have these blue grits, like these.
oh,
They
man.
were Marsh Hen Mill like heirloom corn blue grits,
Yeah.
and I just was like, you have to use something like that like very on purpose because otherwise it can like as a chef, it could throw off your plating because, like, you introduced a new color
Yeah.
that didn't make any sense. But I was just making them at home, and I was like, "Dude, like, let's go sweet and savory on the breakfast." I just tossed some blueberries with maple and roasted them like those bananas, high heat,
Yeah.
about, like, I don't know, 8 minutes till they
To the
started to wilt and
Yep.
pop,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and then just family style casserole grits, pour it on top, and then just, like, crush it with some crunchy sea salt, and it's the simplest thing in the
That
world,
sounds so good.
and
Yo.
for some reason, I only make it for Christmas breakfast.
I like that though. No, no,
Like
no, no, no. I
yeah.
like that. It's a like you have to wait for it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
a
what I mean?
ritual,
It's a ritual thing. Exactly. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. I gotta be around South Carolina around this time then, bro.
Yeah, come through,
Let
you
me
can
get the
stay with
invite,
us,
man,
you
first.
can
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, chef, what's on your 86 list?
What's on my 86 list?
Yes.
86 $9 like lattes. Like really expensive, like these. Like I love a good latte, I love a good coffee, but like it get way too freaking expensive, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like what the deal? What is the deal? why am I paying and then taxes thrown on there? Like, I'm seeing a $10 bill
Oh, yeah, and you know
for
you're gonna tip
you gotta so you're leaving.
$13 for a fucking latte.
Bruh, for like when? Well, how did this
Make
happen?
58 cents worth of beans.
I'm tired. I'm so tired. Like, and then God forbid you do anything special as far as like the milk is concerned, right? Like you get home milk, everything. Yo, you're leaving, you bring in 20, you coming back with like less than 15. It's
That's
like,
why I can't do it anymore. I just make it at home. I invested in a machine. I said,
just do it
"Hey,
yourself.
yo, this thing's a G. It is gonna pay for itself in 6 months." I did the math
It
like a
absolutely will.
restaurateur would.
It absolutely would. I hate that, man, but I'm a sucker. Like, you get me all the time. And then the flip of the cash point, like the POS, and then like you have to stare at the tip. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah, tip shaming.
Tip shaming.
Are you getting hired at, like, bullshit minimum wage and the company's like, "Well, you start at 7.75, but most people make around $16 with tips because, like, that's my fear is
Yeah,
that that's the case,
yeah,
so I will tip."
right. Yeah. Now it's the onus is on you. It
Yeah.
just shouldn't be. I don't like that. Like,
We need the transparency and the service model because not everybody should be tipped and maybe like 5 or 10% if you wanna be nice, but for what we do, chef driven,
yeah.
service forward, there's professionals that are earning what a Hallmark 20 to 25% now tip is based off knowledge,
Yeah. Are you
experience.
saying that the transparency should be such like a nutritional facts on the back of like a bag of chips? Like, X amount of cholesterol, X amount of like carbs, protein. But you should know like how much this server is like getting paid and how much you should
Well,
does that factor into the tips at all?
I think that's funny. That's your nutritionist mind at work, which is cool. I mean, it's all so complex because it would any type of, like, policy around tipped wage employees is gonna happen on a state level,
Yeah.
and then it might shift on a local municipality level, so there's never gonna be a consensus, but I do think that, as someone who's operated in California for so long, that s understanding that your business model has a certain code with the IRS, that there should be a breakout of distinguishable model type codes
Hmm.
for you to say, "This is the kind of operation I am," and then that you could elect based off that operation. And maybe you have to be in business for a year first to prove
So
it,
get it exactly. It's proof.
but that you could elect to qualify to be like, "I qualify for the tipped wage exception."
Hmm.
So, instead of me paying my servers standard minimum wage, which is like 17.75, I could elect to pay them 9.75, and then if they don't hit 17.75 after tips, I'll
Oh,
compensate.
do the
But
comp.
we
Yeah.
need something like that in a state like California because it cripples the operation and it doesn't help anybody out
No.
when the servers get the same paycheck that the line cooks do, and then they stack 300
Right. Exactly.
at the end of the night. And so but that's the chef-driven high-end model where people go out and pay.
Right.
That's not every place. But if you can make $300 in tips, I think it's just about fairness and equity because I've been in these situations where it's like, I wanna give my dishwasher a fucking raise, but
Yes.
I can't afford to because my labor cost is already 48%.
Right.
And for anybody who doesn't understand that, in our model, if your labor cost is above 30%,
It's
you're
death.
losing money.
You're immediately.
So, I think people should like, there shouldn't be a disparity of income in the same workplace where this person does this job with a certain skill set and is making 80,000 plus a year, and then this person does a job with a different skill set,
Mhm.
both equally important to the team,
Right.
and makes 45.
Yeah. It also creates a riff internally or can create a riff internally
Yeah.
as well. That also like I feel like a lot of restaurateurs, chefs, business owners tend to leave out the conversation because now you're battling this disparity in tips, but then you're also you're also trying to like create peace within the workforce, you know,
Mhm.
within the four walls of the restaurant, the establishment. And for me, man, like I go so hard for my employees because that is going to trickle down in the best way possible to the guest experience.
Mhm.
And when, you know, there's a rift between what servers and bussers and bartenders and, you know, dishwashers, everyone who's so important, everyone is an important piece, an important cog to the machine. You know, they're beefing off of, you know, daily tips, pools of tips, however your establishment decides to break things down, then it can really affect the bottom line in more ways than a 48%, you know, labor
Yeah.
cost. Yeah.
Do everything you can to avoid out the negative thinking
Yes.
and to say, like, "Listen, that negative thinking is the antithesis of hospitality. We can't be divided or we won't create the experience we want."
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, you know, there's an intangible, you can't spend money on like lessons learned. You can put them in your back pocket and hopefully that like is compounding interest, hopefully, for when if you decide to continue on in this career as a line cook and move on to a sous and executive chef or owner or whatever that you can obviously use to better yourself down the line. So there's an idea of like compounding interest as you learn about it. But in the immediate, you can't put that sort of like, oh, Chef Eric told me this and I can go spend it on a beer or rent or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But I think what's cool about it is people are learning and, you know, it's a when you're working under a great chef, and I've been blessed to work under, you know, Derek Wagner in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, Chef Mark Forgione, Eric Ramirez, like Adam Shop, like these chefs who take the time, they're there every day, and they're putting their value, they're putting their knowledge into you and instilling all of that to you. Like now in my present time as I'm, you know, leading a team in the kitchen, I'm going back to all this shit that they taught me.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. And that's obviously helping me grow into, you know, this business right now. So man, there's different ways and different sort of like you can drop pennies in different pools, so to speak, right? And I think when you have a knowledgeable chef, someone who's understands the industry, understands both sides of the front of the house, back of the house dynamic, but can speak to you as a teacher, man, that's invaluable in so many other ways as well.
Bro, well said, and shout outs to our mutual homie that I just found out, Derek Wagner.
D-Wag.
Dude, he's my, like, big bro.
No kidding.
He pulled me into the sustainability
Yes.
movement
Yes.
15 years ago?
No, nothing is wasted in that kitchen whatsoever. I absolutely adore Derek Wagner. That's the first chef that I worked under.
Alright, I need a story.
Yeah?
I want a story from you, formative years under Derek Wagner, either one of those lessons that you just said you didn't know at the time, but it came out later on and you realized, like, this was a lesson I was taught.
You know what I always thank Chef Wagner for is time. How to how to properly set up my station, how to probably like properly, excuse me, uh just manage my station and be a true chef de partie. Like this is my house. Like don't put your shit here. Like servers who are cleaning and you know
Yeah.
spoons. No, respectfully, I'm here. This is my space. Like
I cook dinner every night. I won't sit down without cleaning my knife, drying it, putting it back,
all
and
of that.
cleaning down my cutting
All of
board.
it. It's ritual. It's the repetitive nature of doing the religious nature of doing something in repetition over and over and over and over again and until it starts feeling like second nature. I learned that from Derek. I learned integrity as well. I was young. I interned. I had left the restaurant. And this is one thing, man. He showed me I say this to my sous chefs all the time. I just said it to Chef Bradley yesterday. Patience and grace. Like there was, you know, a high stress moment that happened. Voices got up, and I'm like, pause, patience and grace. And I learned that from Derek as well, because you know, as a young cook, he didn't have to like call me like, hey, call me out on my bullshit. He didn't have to. He could have just like moved on with his life. He has so many other things to do. He
Mhm.
was, you know, he was having his girls at the time. Obviously, he's working on the business. There's so many sort of moving parts but he took the time out to really like call me out on my bullshit. And that's just what a man does. So like I I I owe so much to him, and he probably doesn't even know like how impactful he is to me. But shout out to Derek Wagner, Nick's on Broadway, best brunch spot in all of New England. Period.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool. And that's one of my favorite parts about our community as chefs is that, man, you peel back the layers of the onions and you'll figure out how your world intersects,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And that brings you even closer.
100%. I think because if you've done it right, you've gone through the brigade system
Mhm.
to the point where you were again, uh, prep, maybe chef de partie, sous, all the way up to exec. If you want it that way, so you see yourself in every single individual that walks into your kitchen for the first time at whatever position.
Mhm.
If it's their dishwasher, if they're prep or whatever, you're like, oh, I was there, so I know the mindset. I understand you know, uh, the struggles of a dishwasher. I understand the struggles of a line cook. I understand the progression it feels like when you get promoted into the next station or whatever the case is. Like
Yeah.
that in and of itself, I think to really um, be effective and a great communicator, obviously shared experiences is something that is very, very valuable. But then also on the reverse, as the mentee, like I can trust that like, yo, he's been it, he's done it, you know what I mean? Or her, she's done it. And like, all right, even though it may suck or feel like it sucks right now, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel and I can do, something better. I'm learning something that could potentially put me in the position that he or she's in right now. So like it's a symbiotic relationship that I think
It is. It
it,
is.
it is.
And having done the job and then seeing somebody when they really do just crush it,
Mhm.
there's so much gratitude.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
the coolest thing in the world to, like, walk into your own kitchen and realize that it's not yours anymore because your team is just, like, whistling while they work. They
Yo.
they love it. They're crushing it. Everybody's so good.
You're looking for something to do.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
can I cut
yeah.
some onions? Can I chive you real quick? Like, what do you need from
I'm
me?
at a place where, like, I'll tell the guys, like, "Yo, I'm gonna be on the line Friday night," and I'll, like, depending on who I kinda wanna, like, you know, have extra fun with and make feel extra special, I'll be like, "Yo, dog, I'm gonna be your partner on your station Friday. It's gonna be me and you,
I
baby."
love it.
But I'll be like the last time I did it was with my boy Simon, and he works, grill and roast,
Yeah.
and on that roast station is a cast iron cornbread and a cast iron mac and cheese that we do, and we roast them to order, so they take a little bit of time, but they're, like, not super expensive, and they're, like, your staple Southern soul food,
Yeah.
so they're big sellers, and it could be, like, on a busy night, it could be, like, a full-time job, but you also are, like, grilling whole fish,
Yeah.
and then you plate that whole set. You're doing charred octopus, you're doing, like, head-on prawns, there's quite a bit of complicated plate ups. So on a Friday, you need 2 people on the station,
Legit.
one that's just like a fucking skillet jockey.
Right. Yeah.
And so I always like to pick on myself. I'll be like, "Yo, I'm probably gonna be doing mac and cheese and cornbread all night," you know what I'm saying? I might flip a piece of octopus, but, I'll leave that complex cooking up to
To
you, you
you.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I try to do the easy stuff
Mhm.
because, like, I wanna be, like, transparent and be like, "Dude, this is your station, like, you rock and roll."
Easy.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be that chef that hops online and tries to cook on your station,
Start swinging.
and I start
Essentially. Yeah.
fucking up my own pickups. I've
Right.
done it.
Yeah.
You're like, "Wait, chef, that much stock?
Right.
You showed us." And I'll be like, "No, no, no, you're right, dude. You're
And
right."
you get humbled real quick, man.
Yeah.
Like, cause it's wild, man. You see, from this side now as an exec, and you're on one side of the pass, but there's a relationship that's being built, and a chemistry, that's a dance, so to speak, that's on the other side.
Mhm.
These line cooks know where the bus pan is. They know where the sizzle plate is. They have like a feel that when sometimes you go back there, you're like, wait, is this the kitchen? Like, is this my line or whatever, and you feel somewhat out of place. I love
You
that
don't know
though.
where anything
You don't
is.
know where
You're like,
anything
where the
is.
fuck is I'm like, I'll just be like, dude, look, it's gonna take me like 2 hours just to like figure
Get a
out where all
rhythm.
the mise en place is on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
station.
yeah. Get a rhythm.
Although I do sometimes like I'll be known to like step on, see how they've set up their mise en place and move it all around and like and be like, listen, I'm not doing this to be a fuck or to be annoying, but this is how I would set up my station
Of
if I was
course.
working it,
Right.
and here's why. And I'll like reposition me's like 9 pans, and I'll be like,
Mhm,
yo, these are all on the same dish. They
mhm.
should just be like boop, boop, boop,
Right.
right? You don't really ever use this seasoning over here. That's why I set this rail up over here.
Yeah.
Just keep it here.
Right.
And then there's no turn. And it's
Right.
just more about like cutting down on the
Wasted
moves.
movements. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
Work.
like
Yeah.
you don't have to move fast to cook fast, right? You
No.
just have to be precise.
Bravo. Bravo. It's the wasted movements, man. One thing I love is when you're like, I call it cooking like swans. Like you just, it's a dance. It's choreographed when you're just
Mm.
cooking in flow, in that flow state. And it feels so damn good. It feels like it's theater at a certain point, man.
It's the closest thing I think to being in like this meditative,
Facts. Yes. 100%.
I'm actually living in the moment.
Zen cooking.
Yeah. Even if it's stressful.
Fuck it. I don't care. Like
If all
that's
I'm worried about is the what the tickets say, that's fucking paradise for
I
me.
love that though. I see as an line cook, man, and my favorite position was on the line, fumette, entremet, working the roast once. Like I love that, like just the position of high stress, but I'm so freaking prepared for this moment that like as high as the tickets are going, as stressful as the moment is, I'm in rhythm, I'm organized, and all I gotta do is just fucking cook and I'll get
Yes.
myself out of that.
Yes, chef.
That's it.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. I love the weeds. I love helping people get out of the weeds too.
Big time.
Like when I'm in the window, I'm like, "All right, dude, clear your board. Fuck the tickets. Let me just walk
Listen
you
to me.
through it."
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're
Because I
correct.
had that.
Yeah.
I mean, I when I was coming up too, I worked in really strict French kitchens where we didn't get dupes, so it was all verbal. And I've been in kitchens where it's all off ticket and it's like really high end, like people that worked for like Keller
Mhm,
or Red Zeppi,
mhm.
and it's very quiet in their kitchen. But I came up in I think a kitchen of the same standard, but we didn't have tickets, so it was
Sure.
all verbal. So it was a very loud
Of
kitchen.
course.
And so I'm kind of a bolsterous guy on the line.
Same here.
Like, don't if I say how long on this, I just want you to instantly be like 60 seconds,
Yes.
15
Sure.
seconds, plating. No
Yes.
hesitation. Once we get into that mindset, I need 12. Okay,
Shake my
cool.
hand, sir. Shake my hand. You're absolutely right. I think like the same, very similar to you, bro. I grew up in that, in both sides of the fence, and I think, man, there's a plus and minus to having the dupes. There's a plus and minus to being verbal. I love the call and response. It is the way I grew up. It's even with the duplicates, still freaking like respond like chef. I
Mhm.
need 2 minutes. The scallops are still raw.
Yeah.
Like I need a couple of minutes to
It's
figure this out.
it makes
Whatever.
it fun. It's like that's what makes it a team, that there's so much communication that's verbal and nonverbal
I
that's
fucking
happening in that in that symphony of swans.
I love it. I love LOVE. I love my life. I love what I do. I truly am like, I'm so blessed to have found this calling for food and falling deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into this idea of like this industry. And every time that like I'm either on the line or on the pass, I'm like, yo, I'm so fucking lucky because I'm doing exactly what I want to do because of these things, man. Like it's just, you're doing repetitive work, and you're cooking the same thing over and over and over again, but you're trying to get better at it. And it's you're trying to just be better, even as someone who's at the pass and calling out things when it's super chaotic and you're like, all right, now I need to conduct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's a symphony, like you said. All right, I need this, I need that, I need that, I need this. And then when you're out the weeds and everyone just like looks at each other like, yo, clean down, 2 minutes, clean down. And then you also just like little,
Yeah.
round of applause, like, well done.
When I
Love that
walked
shit.
into the restaurant, when I walked into Elmina, Saturday night, I had a later reservation. It was 9 o'clock. I got there at about 8:30, which was like definitely a pivotal moment in service. Around that time of night, usually you'll be kind of getting through a big rush,
Yeah,
maybe the biggest rush of the night. And I experienced that. I walked in and the line was cleaning down, wiping down.
100%.
And, like, if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, "Oh, they're closing up." But it was like, I loved that. I was like, "Dude, these guys and gals back there are on their bully." Like,
Yeah,
they just wiped this whole kitchen down and reorganized all the mise en place, and there's still 90 minutes of service
yeah,
because they want it to be tight and they wanna be ready for the next push.
100%. We have to be ready. Another thing that keeps us honest is it's an open kitchen. So like
Yeah.
it's the when our guests are sitting down, they see damn near everything. They see the highs, the lows. You know, another thing from Derek Wagner. You don't say because I worked in an open kitchen at Nick's, things like bad or like spoiled or old, like those like verbal cues that would
Mhm.
disappoint the guest or sort of like,
What's your code word?
let's talk in the back.
Alright, okay.
Let's talk in the back. Or, it's funny because we have a few people from Ghana on the line. My chef de cuisine is from, Ghana as well. So we start speaking in, tree like, hey,
Perfect.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, and then now,
What's
like,
the word?
it's, uh, wahala means like bullshit. Like,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No wahala. Like, yeah, chef, this is like, all right, no wahala. Like, no, and then I think it's funny because we serve an eclectic bunch, like I mentioned earlier in the pod, man, about like in DC, but then there's some people that are from Ghana that understand too. Like they get it.
Yes.
And
And
it's
those are probably the hardest customers to please because
by far.
they're gonna hold you up to what they grew up with.
I love it though. Like challenge me. I love it. I love bringing folks in from different parts of the world. It's so cool to see um uh, people who've never visited the continent, the country, eating fufu with their hands, like diving into the hospitality, like head on. These are like intelligent diners. These are like inquisitive diners, and these are people that I love to feed. But then also in the Venn diagram, so to speak, of you know what we're doing at Elmina, you have one side that is, very familiar with the West African Ghanaian food. You have a curious diner on the other side, and in the middle is Elmina. Like you have to kind of service both.
Yes,
Does
I
that make
noticed
sense?
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah.
That's why you have the scallop crudo,
Right.
which somebody from Ghana, if they don't understand that you're not just a traditional
Mhm.
Ghanaian restaurant, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right. Exactly.
And you're gonna be like, "Listen, all these ingredients are from
Yeah.
Ghana.
It's a story woven in.
Coconut,
Absolutely.
fucking the black
Yeah.
quinoa."
Everything.
Like, we love coastal treasures,
Right.
but this is where I get to be me.
This is exactly that. Now, I'll tell a quick aside. A quick aside.
Yeah.
I love Bermuda. I visited Bermuda, several years back, and I make it a repetitive trip now. And one time, the first time I went there, it was I did a dinner, and I went there twice in one year. The first time was sort of just to like check out the landscape, do the walking through the island and looking at all the different produce and foraging and all this. And the second time was to cook. But the first time I went there, I'm like, I'm in a photo. Like I feel like I'm in a painting. There's hibiscus everywhere. There's coconut everywhere. There's like nasturtiums everywhere. And I'm like, I don't see this in the cuisine. I don't see this in the food. And they're like, oh, we just, we walk by it every day because we don't realize. And I'm like, this is the cuisine of your country. This is like, you can take hibiscus and coconut and nasturtiums
Mhm.
and, sea buckthorn and all this beautiful ingredients that we pay fucking tons of
Yeah.
money for in the States to get. And it's literally growing invasively here in your country. Like, use this. And for a lot of them, for a lot of like the cuisine, they don't use it. So I think what's so cool about
That's
what we're doing
crazy.
to bring it back to Elmina is these things that are so like indigenous in like the coconut, You know, the black quinoa, like you mentioned, like all these beautiful ingredients that, you know, are all throughout the country that we don't think specifically because we have like the Jollof hallmarks, the wache, the fufu hallmarks, which are all fucking fantastic.
Mhm.
But like there's other stories to tell. I think we do that as well with the hamachi crudo dish. It's passion.
Fire.
Thank you, bro.
Hits all
It's
the notes.
yeah, passion fruit, peri peri, corn nuts, like all the things that are massively like just grown invasively in Ghana and just respun in a way that's like both contemporary, fits the palate for the folks who are curious, and then also like sort of piques the interest of, you know, people who are coming from that part of the world and know that food, but like, oh yeah, I've had passion fruit. I can pick it from my tree and I've eaten
Mhm.
all the time. Or the peri peri pepper that grows like wildfire, like in Ghana. Like, oh, putting that together like, on a dish, like that's what I love to do. I don't. Yeah.
Tell me about those corn nuts. They were dope.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a very peculiar, not peculiar, unique,
Mhm.
kernel of corn.
Yeah, I love corn. My mom's favorite snack. She takes peanuts and corn nuts and mixes it together, and like she's as we speak, I'm almost certain that she's snacking on that right now. Like that's her jam. So I love corn nuts. I just grown up with that sort of like that in the background in the pantry of my mom's kitchen. But yeah, corn, maize, you know, in Ghana, in Africa, period, is such a prevalent starch that we use for so many amazing things. So it's really just the corn kernels, dry, dehydrated, until they have a nice crunch and a pop, and its texture, it's salty, it's all of that. And I think again, similar to that scallop dish, you can't forget about texture, man. You can't
Mhm,
forget about things
mhm.
that make the dish not mundane. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you want to unify.
you've got your notes down on raw fish,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like in seafood rather, sorry, because scallops aren't fish, but you know how to
Mhm.
put it out.
Cheers, yo. Yeah,
Pro
I appreciate that, man. I mean, we come from a beautiful part of the world. Every place in the world is has their own sort of like unique hallmark. But like being so close to the Atlantic Ocean, you're so blessed with amazing seafood. And that's one thing. When you walk into Elmina, we have a section of the room where you were sitting, actually, the blue room. We call it
Mhm.
the indigo room, and that inspiration is the Atlantic Ocean. So you'll see waves and curvature all throughout the space, just to sort of give an homage and a tip of the hat to the abundance that we get from the Atlantic Ocean, the mollusks, the fish, the you know hamachi obviously doesn't come from that part, but I think it was a great pairing of the cleanliness and the fattiness of that specific
Yeah.
cut of fish. I think
I
was
mean, hamachi's like I think it's the chef's choice for a
it
crudo,
is yeah.
especially if depending on what time of year, because you can get great farm-raised, sustainable, delicious, consistent hamachi, and then it's like there's not always, like, the right crudo fish in season, so it's
Mhm.
like in the colder months,
It's there.
you can get
Yeah,
you have great
yeah.
options, but in the summer, I mean, I agree, I think that the hamachi is the way to go.
It's definitely the way.
I
It's
mean,
my
fuck, I'll eat
favorite.
it year-round, though, don't get me wrong.
Same here. Yeah, you haven't said anything
So
wrong,
good.
bro. You haven't said anything wrong. Yeah,
And
man. So
kampachi too.
yes, exactly, and
Yeah.
Kapachi as well. Same here. So yeah, it's that sort of juxtaposition, taking these ingredients, respinning them, combining them in fun ways, and then obviously taking the traditional dishes and then adding a touch of flair. I think probably the most traditional, like untapped fufu dish, braised goat, fufu, pounded yam and cassava with the peanut
So
stew.
good.
Cheers, bro. Yeah, man, I love the space,
The
man. I
peanut
look,
stew, bro,
yeah, yeah. Oh
as
man,
a base for the goat, right?
as the base for the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's peanut butter, it's tomato paste in one pot, and then it's mirepoix, celery, onions, carrots, ginger in another pot. They cook at the same time, and then you marry them, blend it, marry them, add some spices, and then there you have it. It's super simple.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
It's so fucking good. And I'm a peanut butter freak, like which by the way, dude, like, so the best peanut butter that I've ever had in my life
Probably from South Carolina. I don't
is
know.
Kirkland brand,
Kirkland's delicious.
the Kirkland brand all natural organic. I stir it up once when I open it up, and it's just peanuts and salt,
Hmm.
and it's got the best texture to me
Yeah.
and the best flavor. I've tasted it against every peanut butter on the shelf. I know that people, you're allowed your own personal opinion. I think I like it because it's somewhat pourable,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so it's more apt for savory applications to me.
It's so true. Kirkland's makes a great, great bread. I love peanuts and ground nuts, as we call them affectionately
Yeah.
in Ghana. So that stew, nakante kwai. Nakwai is soup. So that coconut gazpacho, coconut nakwai, or gazpacho. And yeah, nakante is peanut, and we have peanuts all throughout. Like that, it's another thing that grows similar to. That's one specific ingredient that came from the transatlantic slave movement to
Mhm.
the South, right? And that's why peanuts are so prevalent and
Yeah.
delicious in different parts of the South, specifically, where you're from, South Carolina, North Carolina, and beyond, man. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a great ingredient,
Peanuts,
man. I
let's
love it.
talk about some of the crops
Yeah.
that have defined Southern food, which okay, so my thing is, like, at the heart of Southern food, you have soul food.
Mm-hmm.
Soul food is the cuisine of Black America. The term was coined in the '60s, I wanna say,
Yeah.
when at that period, if you were Black, you had soul.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when the term was coined. But, like, there is no Southern food identity without soul food. But you don't have to be from the South to grow up on soul food. Like, I
Yeah.
know people from Detroit, and
Yeah.
Oakland, and
Yeah.
LA
Yeah.
that grew up on soul food. So that all of that brings me to my realization that Southern food at large is the great American cuisine identity.
Yes.
And because of that, we really have to pay extra special attention to the contributions of the people that didn't wanna fucking be here
Yeah.
that actually defined it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know it all. I'm a lifelong student, but when I decided to get soul food tattooed on my knuckles, I knew this is really important. And I
I
can't
love
just
that.
this is not surfacey, right? I mean, my culture, my Lebanese ancestry, we have our own version of soul food,
Mm-hmm.
but those aren't the words,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
In this language, it means something. And so the ingredients, the rice, the
Rice.
okra,
Yep.
the ground nuts, the peanuts,
Mhm.
benny seeds.
Benny seeds, 100. Yeah.
What else have you seen? What do you see?
Um, it's I think those are the number ones, man. I think about like uh not too far from you, the Gullah Geechee region, you know what I mean? And their use of rice, yeah, the ground nuts, okra, 1000%. Um, the Benny seed, as we called it. We have a mushroom skewer, chichinga, as we affectionately call our skewers kebabs. I think we might have put that on the flight for you
Yeah.
guys, yeah,
Oh, it was dope.
with the Benny seed miso on it, and
You told me about the benny seed miso, and it was,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
beaming.
yeah, same. That
So
whole like
cool.
hunger, that yeah, what is it? Hangover, like you know, thing with the math
Yeah.
equation right in your face. Yeah, keep well. Shout out to them. I'll sing their praises forever, man.
Heard.
They're so good. Free promo for them, but yeah, they're fantastic. They make the Venice meat so. Um,
I like when, you're so into your cuisine set, like, the box that you decided to play with
yeah,
and perform under, that you use ingredients with, like, the deepest intent, like, "Hey, I love miso, and maybe I could use it, like, in one place
mhm,
on my menu," but I like to acknowledge that since I'm not cooking Asian cuisine, I shouldn't put it in everything. I should
yeah,
challenge
of
myself,
course.
right? And so, like, how do I make it Southern? Well, like, for me, I'll put, like, red miso in a red remoulade,
Mm,
and I'll be like, "Oh, that's kinda clever," like a
mhm,
red miso remoulade, but
mhm.
it's like a
It
Chesapeake-based
sounds
style
delicious. Yeah,
remoulade, and it's just got that extra umami, but,
right.
like, the idea of going, like, "How do I introduce umami from other cultures?" Ooh, Beni seed,
Benny seeds.
miso.
Yeah,
That's so fucking smart.
it's so cool, man. When I saw that, I was like, man, I gotta get my hands on that immediately. And it's a delicious product. You get that earthiness, and then that umami punch, that is so just like the classic with any sort of miso. So they do a great job. I'm thinking black eyed peas as well, cow
Yes,
peas,
yes,
is another
cowpeas,
ingredient.
as they're called
Yeah, another
on the
ingredient
continent.
for sure. Cow peas are like the heart and soul of like sustainability and feeding a family on budget, you go with that, man. We have different versions. There's a red dish that in Ghana, it's a black eyed pea cowpea dish, um, and it's cooked in a tomato like base with crawfish, and the name red comes from the palm oil that's used. But we cut that palm oil with a little bit of coconut oil as well, just to sort of like tame the like earthiness of the palm. And it's I say everything's my favorite, but it's one of my favorite dishes on the menu. Serve that with like plantain and avocado and dry cassava. So yeah, man, there's so many different ingredients and as you mentioned, that sort of comes from one place to another. But then another thing that I love about the great American like cuisine, the Southern cuisine, is that
Mhm.
it also has like bridged the gap to sort of like come up with its own identity as well after the fact. Like,
Yeah.
yes, you have it's a storybook. You have the Africans that come to the new world. They have ingredients. Soul food is brought from that. But then now, and I say not now as in like recent times, but in the past 20, 30 plus years, 50 years, let's say, um, there's a whole new spin on what these ingredients can look like, the combination, and now it's almost like bridging a gap into another genre of like beautiful Southern cuisine.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it, man. There's some brilliant, brilliant minds, that are cooking this food. But when I think of American food, it's from the South, period. Yeah,
Yeah.
easy.
Like, and ask anybody around the world what their favorite American food items are, and
Mhm.
I guarantee 8 out of 10 are Southern.
100%. Yeah,
That's why I boldly say that
yeah.
it is the great identity of American cuisine. And, just another like really fun little factoid about what we were talking about where, you try to play inside your box with your own ingredients. When I found out about the crawfish powder, the dehydrated crawfish powder, I got some because I was like, I'm gonna make a collard green kimchi with this, like
Ooh,
instead of like shrimp powder or dehydrated shrimps.
yeah.
I never fucking cracked that code. The
It sounds so good.
collard green leaves don't for starters, they don't have a lot of moisture in them the way cabbage does. And, I think Napa cabbage especially is the best
It's the best
for
way.
kimchi
Yeah.
because it's like crunchy and it's juicy. The collard green stems don't really break down
Mhm.
and it gets really like, I don't know, like gassy
It
in
does.
there,
Yeah.
like farty,
Mhm. Sulfuric.
sulfuric.
Yeah, yeah.
I could never figure out how to make it, but I think it's a great idea. I can't pull it off.
It's almost as you probably would need to use that biggest weakness against itself because that gas is also creates the fermentation, right?
Yeah.
Like, it helps with that. So I wonder if there's a way. Man, that's a side quest I'd love to, like, hop on with you, like, and really, like, nerd out on. That'd be fun, like, how you
Yeah.
make a collard green kimchi. Like, I think there's a pathway to it.
Yeah.
You just gotta break it down, get a
Like,
really
it
good
was
idea.
good, but it
Yeah,
wasn't
it's not.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
But it's
kinda
not
like
gonna be like I mean, like you said, like, Napa cabbage is king
yeah.
with that. So, like, you
Maybe
could
there needs to be both. Maybe it needs to be some, like, 50-50, like,
and there's nothing wrong with
collard
that.
to Napa
Yeah.
so that you get the crunch
Mhm.
and you get the funk.
And you get the funk. There's nothing wrong with that. I think, bridging that gap and man, these are how some of the most like amazing combinations of fusion have happened, with these sort of like what if
Yeah.
sort of ideas with food, man. And I that's why like I fell in love with food as well, man, because I can nerd out with chefs from all over the world. Here specifically in DC, I think of Eric Yang. I think of Kevin Tiang. Think of um, you know uh, brilliant chefs that grew up in different parts of the world, aside like from not where I came from, not from Africa, Cambodia, and places in the South as well, Louisiana. Um, but we have that equal passion for food and we can sit down and like, yo, what if we did that? Or if we did this? Or what that combination would look like? And now you're like breeding a new sort of like identity and something, and That's what food is all about, man. There's no one owns it, but I think we all have sort of claims because of where we come from and, our experiences, but, I don't have an authority, a full authority. It's not a monolithic sort of authority. And when you can really, like, get off your high horse, I think for a lot of chefs, who feel like they own that space, man, then you're really cooking with some, like, beautiful ideas. Like, I love this Napa cabbage, collard green situation. That sounds delicious to me, and I'd love to, like, hop on that with you. That'd be great.
Yeah, I think you nailed it there, that it's great to be in this phase of our careers where, like, we're past trying to prove something to ourselves,
Mhm.
and we can just have fun again and be delighted by the joy of cooking,
Yeah.
because then you have that open mind to share ideas
Mhm.
comfortably
Yeah.
and then retain ideas, right? Like, like, I share my ideas so that I can get better
Of
ideas.
course, yeah.
I think everything is better when it's collaborative.
Yeah, it's like chef camp, Like, you all kinda get together and, you just nerd out on something that you all love at the same sort of, like, intensity and heart, but then you're coming from different angles. You're looking at, you know, uh, the same the same thing, but in a different way. It's like thinking like a child, man. There's no, like, limitations. You can just go free and, you know, why can't I build a rocket ship that goes all the way to the moon? Like, let's do it, like, and who's to say no? Like, if you can think it, you can imagine it, you can be it, you can make it. We all are working in this sort of creative space where all this shit comes from our mind and eventually through trial and error it makes it on a plate. That's magic. Like,
Yeah,
that's magic to me, bro.
it's
Like,
cool.
it's very cool. I love art for that reason. Like, how did you think about that? How did you translate that? But then how do you teach that to someone who didn't have that vision that
That's
you
the
have?
crazy part, is
Yeah,
teaching it,
right.
because you realize you're only one small part of their journey, even if they're with you for years. Like,
Mm,
you're
mm,
just gonna become a sum of an experience, but you have to give so much
yeah.
of yourself to that person for it to actually have an impact.
Um,
And that's like, I don't have children. I know
mhm,
you have a daughter.
yeah,
I don't have kids. I'm not gonna have kids. And I get the fulfillment I think that parents do
yeah.
from working with my cooks and chefs.
Yeah, it's the same ilk. Like, teaching a concept that was unfamiliar or unknown or ignorant to someone, whether it's a child or an adult, and then it clicks. You see it click. Like, doing a math equation with my daughter and explaining why 4 plus 6 equals 10. She's like, I get it now. It's like, like, I see why. And then boom, like, that's a moment that it's just like a core memory just being built right there. And the same thing with cooks, why you have to balance acidity with sweetness or fattiness for like uh, that objective that you're trying to reach. And they're like, oh, I get it. Because you need that balance. You need that sort of like relief. You need that acid to cut through or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And they get it. And now, like, that's a core memory being built right
Mhm.
there that they can take on and hopefully pass that on as well. Each one teach one. Like, I didn't learn this shit all by myself. I read
Yeah.
a lot, but then, I experienced a lot as well. And that's the greatest teacher is being able to uh, get mentors. Again, I already ran through those chefs, but like everyone that I'm around absorb a little bit like like a Mega Man. And you just become stronger and stronger. Yeah.
Um, what, what kinda kitchen tunes are you into? Do you listen to music in the kitchen? Is it
Yeah.
just for prep? I didn't hear any tunes during service, which I know most of, the chefs I know, myself including, no music during service
Yeah.
per se, because you gotta focus so
Same.
hard, but
Yeah, same. I it's dealer's choice, man, with the staff. I love having the staff come in and feel like a little bit of ownership in the
Mhm.
kitchen. So we do I love it. We do pass the aux on Tuesdays. And that's for anybody. And it's a cool thing. Again, it gives equity and ownership to the staff. So it goes from back and forth from back of the house to front of the house. So we had Shirley, our server, had the aux this Tuesday, and I'm like, I challenge him, make a playlist at least 3 hours long,
Uh-huh.
and we'll play whatever it is that you got, you feel. So you're in the zone. You feel like and then Shirley points that to the next back of the house person,
Okay.
and then back and forth it goes.
Are
But
you literally plugging in with an auxiliary
I
cable?
mean, past the aux is the coolest way to say it, but
It's
now,
hard. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, we're just digitally just sharing playlists on the
got it.
phone, and then we can pass it
That's
through.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we
But,
can.
that sounds like great, like,
It's team.
camaraderie.
It's camaraderie. It's team building. And I love personally when we have a Pax Sauce Tuesday, and then our guests like, man, this playlist is just on fire. And then you see the chef or you see the server kind of do that Kevin James like little smirk like, yeah, that's me. Like,
Okay, well, like, on that note, I went off on a fucking DMX rant at the dinner table
we had DMX on the playlist.
because this song, "Here Comes
Here
the
comes the
Boom,"
boom.
from the Belly soundtrack, I hear it come on, and I'm just like, "Bro, this isn't" like, for starters, DMX is a cultural phenomenon for so many reasons. I'll say the top tier one is that he has become beloved by most Americans. Like, you can't go to a professional sports game and a DMX hook doesn't come on and the whole place chants the
Yeah,
hook. They
yeah,
know the words.
yeah.
Doesn't matter who you are, or even
Mhm.
if you and back when that song was on the radio, America still hadn't fully adopted rap music
Well said.
or
Yeah,
hip hop,
yeah.
right? So that's like that's an accomplishment. But here Comes the Boom is a fucking deep cut.
It is.
It is not it's not, the club DMX song.
Nah,
Who put that on there?
that's all me, man.
Oh, wow.
I worked on that playlist just as hard as I worked on this menu, man. Like, here comes so let's not forget I'm from New York as well, man. So like DMX, New York, Mr. Vegas is all singing the hook. There's a huge connection between like reggae, Jamaican, and
Yes.
and Ghanaian and West African. So we the music, the food, it's all there, man. It's a deep cut that I absolutely love, man. Here comes the boom. When that comes on, even in the kitchen, man, we're just like, we're cooking with little bop to us. I love that song.
Yo, other song on that album that's fire, Grand Finale.
Yes.
Nas,
Nas,
DMX,
yep.
Method Man, Ja
Jaws
Rule.
on it. Yep. Yep.
Um,
A great movie, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah. When that
Fantastic.
came out, you must have been maybe 10, because I think I was
96.
15.
Yeah, 96, I think.
96?
Something like that.
Yeah, so
I was young
you were just a little so I was at the perfect age
to
to
really
get
absorb.
dropped off at the movie theater and smoke a fucking blunt behind the movie theater with my best friend Amin and get absolutely blazed before watching that movie.
Watching Belly.
Yeah,
The classic car wash scene and them going, yeah, man, it's that right there. Shout out to Nas. We said you're going to a Nas concert. I'm so
yeah, I
freaking
am.
jealous.
It's your space though. You're in the kitchen. Maybe it's at home. I really wanna know, like, what are you playing?
What am I
What are you
playing?
playing
Yeah.
right now?
What am I doing
Are
right
you
now?
is it a mix? Is it an album you just keep playing over and over again?
It's a man, I you mentioned Stillmatic earlier before we started, man. That's one thing that pops up quite often in the mix, man. I love Nas. Um, I go from highs and lows, man. I listen to this classic live album, the John Mayer Trio, a lot. That I actually Derek Wagner comes up for like the fourth time again in this conversation. That was an album that he played so much, and just for nostalgic reasons. I remember like Sunday cleaning after service, and he just have that album on, and I just do that now because it just reminds me of like when I first started. So I listen to that, but then Kendrick is on, Sade is on, Afro beats, man, Wale, Burna Boy, Wiz, Socrates on. It's a mix, man. And then also I can nerd out on podcasts too, man. I can just zone out on just, if I heard this while cooking, I'm like, oh yeah, this is dope. So I'm a little bit everywhere, but it's usually a mix of it all, man. I am a fanatic for music, and I think when you have a great experience, man, it's not just the food, which is obviously a huge sort of like vehicle, but the music and the ambiance and everything else, man. Like we are blessed to work in a medium that can capture all of those five senses. Like,
Yeah.
you hear the crackle of the food, you smell it, obviously, you taste it, you touch it, you see it. Like we have so much space to kind of like mess around with everyone's senses all at once. And that's a powerful tool. So
It is.
yeah.
I mean, from my intro to the show talking about this neighborhood, the U Street corridor,
Mhm.
it's so cool that Elmina's in it, and it's like, this is the historically Black
Yeah.
neighborhood that's famous for culture, art, entertainment, music,
It's all here.
food, but, like, your restaurant gets to embody all of
We do it
that,
all. Yeah.
and that's a very special thing.
It's affectionately called Chocolate City, for all of the amazing uh, uh, achievements in all sort of facets of art, literature, um, and just culture. You have historic Howard University, just about a stone's throw away, 10 minutes away or so. And then, you mentioned Ben's Chili Bowl and the different sort of restaurants. There's St. James there, there's Busboys and Poets, there's,
Mhm.
the classic staples. And I'm blessed to be where we are specifically. I looking for the Elmina with the concept in mind. I was looking for the space for like a year and a half, 2 years, and I've gone to so many different places here in the district. And it was just like, the Three Little Bears story. Like, oh, this is okay, but it's not right. Or this is too big and
Mhm.
it's not right. But when I sat in Elmina, the previous restaurant, before it was Elmina rather, I was like, this is it. Like, I love the location, I love the feel, I love the energy in here. Like, let's choose this one.
So, walking in there and seeing you, I can just see you beaming with, like, joy and passion, and but it feels like an instant classic, and I know that, like, that doesn't just happen, it's, like, your entire life's work and that you were choosy, but it's like, your location is iconic. Like, it's very rare to be able to, like, formulate and create lightning in a bottle because that's not the definition of it, but you really have captured lightning in a bottle with the restaurant in every single sense
Oh
of
man, God
the
bless you.
phrase.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot, especially from someone, like you and you've eaten. I can't even imagine everywhere you've eaten, places you worked in and stuff like
Yo,
that. So
I had a fucking hot dog before I came in.
I've
I had a
I've
half smoke from
I've
Ben's Chili.
I fuck with that so
Hell
much
yeah, and
because
some
like,
fried catfish.
yo, high low, bro. Like
Yes,
you can get you can see the beauty in it all, man.
I want it all.
I want it all, and we just decided to go with, Elmina, but like I've got so many like, you know, mom and pop ideas that I think would work just as well with this similar concept.
I love
But
that
to the
because your
point.
soul needs this
Yeah,
first, like,
yeah.
your soul's, like, bleeding into the menu.
This was it, man. This was immediately it. And I'm so blessed, man. Spiritual background and definitely have faith as a guiding like compass for me. I feel you mentioned lightning in the bottle. I feel divinely placed. I really do. I feel like this was absolutely meant to be, and I can't thank God enough for this like amazing opportunity to be here in this year, with this like climate and the awareness of like uh, African food in general. I think aside from the continent itself, Africa, there is no other place in America in the world that you're getting such an eclectic mix of African food other than DC. I think it's the
Mm,
mecca right now.
yeah,
It really is.
agreed.
I think so, man. You have
But you being here and doing what you're doing kind of helped solidify that.
I appreciate that, and as humbly as I can, like, not sound braggadocious, I thank you. Like, it means the world because, you have places like there's East African represented, there's Central, there's South, there's West Africa as well, there's Northern Af like, we have all the sort of African restaurants in this district here, and it's amazing. Like specific African
Yeah.
restaurants, Ducum is a classic here that's been here for years. East African. You go down, Chef Marcus Samuelson just opened up. Actually, today he's going to be opening up Marcus DC.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool,
it's
man.
happening today. Dogon is here. The Continent, Swahili Village, Elmina. Like you can go on and on. And like there's per capita, like how many African restaurants are, in this small space anywhere else in the world. And I think
Yeah,
that's just a
I'm no
cool thing.
expert on the subject, but I feel like from everywhere I've been, I haven't
Yeah.
experienced anything
I don't
like it.
yeah, I like, I'm happy to, to be corrected, absolutely, but just being here, there's a very cool pulse that's happening, and it's so cool to see other cultures come through and really take in onto this culture, specifically, so
Well, I
yeah,
feel like that's like one of your gifts to the world and kind of how you're using food to make the world a better place, like maybe through the power of togetherness and even like kind of healing because you're such a storyteller and a docent of your culture and in a way that goes above and beyond even what most chefs who are storytellers do. But you have a really important story to share. And I think when you put it out there to the world in an inviting, hospitable way, it can really help people. Um, you can break barriers and get folks from all walks of life to sit near each other and eat dinner at the same time. And
yeah,
maybe like recognize that like what through the act of participating in foreign culture, that we're all just fucking people
that's
that wanna
it.
go get
That's
taken
it,
care of.
that's it, that's it. Hospitality doesn't know color or creed or whatever, man, like, uh, I say this all the time, man. I'll go to a restaurant twice, if the food was bad, it's a new cook, it's a new menu, you're working out something, but the hospitality, that's all effort, no matter where you go, no matter what country or state you're in.
Mhm.
And if I experience bad hospitality, I probably won't show up again. And it's cool to have a very uniquely branded sense of hospitality, like Ghanaian hospitality. When you walk in, Akwaba is one of the, say it's welcome and treat, one of the main languages in Ghana. But everyone says it, even if you are from Ghana or from Ecuador or from, here in DC or wherever you come from. Like it's how we give our brand of hospitality. And I think, just like any medium that's really um, done well, it's an escapism as well. You come to our restaurant for an hour and a half or whatever, for, however long you're with us for our experience, and you feel transported. And that's what it should do. That's what all great art should do. A great album should transport you for 90 minutes. Like, oh man, Illmatic, we talk about it again. Like, yo, I was there at Queensbridge at a 19-year-old. Like, I was there. Like,
Son.
he's talking about like the stairways. He's talking about like, oh, I was there. Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Bad City. I was in his mom's van. Like, I was there when he was talking about it. A great movie. Like, when I watch, I just saw Sinners. Like, I was there in the
Oh,
'60s.
yeah,
Or
that's
yeah,
a fucking dope
I
movie.
was in there. Like I felt like I was a part. Like all of that is
Yeah.
just a great escapism, and these different forms, whether it's movie, whether it's song, whether it's food, whether it's going to a museum, and really genuinely diving in, man. It should feel like when you come back out of it, you're like, oh shit, like, oh, I'm back in reality. I'm back in
I
that.
like that they kinda left it like, you know what? There could be a sequel to Sinners. Did you ever see, Interview with the
Interview with
Vamp
Vampire.
Did you ever see the series?
No, there was a series.
There's a series and it's dope and you gotta watch
I've
it,
never seen it. No,
period. But what's dope about it is that, like, because vampires live forever until they're dead,
of course.
there's, like you could create a storyline where there's, like, 5 timelines in it.
They absolutely
Right, that
bridged
you
that.
bounce back around with, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So in the end of Sinners, when you see that it's like the '80s
Yeah.
and they're in that fly ass
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
gear,
Coogee. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's got the Coogee sweater
Yeah.
on. Um, you think like, dude, they could make another one where it's like this story of this badass couple
Mhm.
and just it's like a romance story. It's like
Yeah.
them throughout history.
Right.
Like, they could be there could be scenes of them in the '60s
Yes.
during like the Kennedy assassination
You can
and
prequel
fucking
it.
Jim Crow
Yeah.
still going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like they're still alive today too. Because, so like, yeah, the '80s is dope, but what about like, 2005 and what it's
Wow.
just it would be very fun,
Yeah, it's a gift
and
that keeps
then
giving.
and then he can just be one of the brothers still,
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was a great movie, and it's true, man. They left like there was so much meat on the bone as far as like where this movie could go, and prequels too, like before it
I need a
starts.
prequel.
Yeah, yeah,
I need
like
a sequel and a
I,
prequel.
all of it can happen, and
If I know if I know Michael B. Jordan, he only fucks with trilogies, dog.
that's a good point. Creed, that's true. Where else was uh
I don't know. That's all I know
yeah,
is
no.
Creed. But
Creed was it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a really good
I mean,
point.
if you're a smart, at the end of the day, it's like running a restaurant and making a movie. There's art involved, but if you're not a smart business person, you don't get to keep doing what you want to do. So there's this weird balance.
Yeah.
But I think that with building a franchise in the movie business, it's the smartest.
It's sustainable.
It because like you can try to top line, you can try to break,
Mhm,
over $1 billion with 3 films,
mhm.
and then it's like that's a goal. That's like a 10-year commitment.
Well, that's so some of our greatest restaurateurs are doing right now. You think of like Jose Andres, he has a universe, so to speak,
Yeah.
right? No, that's the prequel, that's the sequel, that's the current, like it's all there. You have the here in DC, man, this guy owns damn near half of everything, like Centennia, and then you go to Mini Bar, which is like a futuristic bar. I've never been into a place like that before. And then like he has like so many other establishments, Daniel Boulud, said Thomas Keller earlier. Like these chefs have like their Hallmark movie, and then you can see them like going back in the prequel, and you can see them
Mhm.
moving forward as well. Like so, there's a universe being built, and it's to the same point as a movie, man. Like with Ryan Coogler, he absolutely has a gem on his hands with this idea of Sinners, where he has this mainstay, but he can go in the future, he can go in the past, and
Yeah.
like he can still like serve it up, and I'll be there each and every time, every 3 years, however he wants to put it
Yeah.
out there.
It feels very
It
Lovecraftian to me,
does, yeah, yeah, it does.
where part of the horror and yeah, Jordan, Peele has done
Mhm.
this as well. Part of the horror is that it's ghouls and vampires, and the other part is, like,
This was the
what
way
it's
life
like to
was.
be Black
Yeah,
in America.
yeah, yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
by the way, yeah, that was,
That
like, the
shit's scary
case
too.
during that time period, but
Right.
then it was still also the case in the fucking '80s
Mhm.
when they flash for it didn't get better.
No,
It kinda
no,
still hasn't.
yeah. There's this one scene in the movie without cracking it too much, like, that there's there's, like, a dance or, like, a party happening, and you saw the different genres all being
Oh, yeah, yeah, throughout the
freaking
years?
fantastic.
That was cool.
What? Like, that's incredible.
That was very cool
It's
storytelling.
amazing, right?
It got to modern day with hip hop,
It got to modern day, but then you saw it, like, with, like, traditional African, like,
went back in time.
all the way, way, way back.
It showed, like, 2,000 years worth of African music
Right, and,
in
like,
a
this one and it
trippy, ghosty.
but done so beautifully,
Yeah.
and it really sort of encompasses, or encapsulates the entire movie and like that, man, so it was bravo, man, that was a really great, great film, but yeah, there's a split, a genre, and I love talking, movies as well, but there's a genre sort of like mashup that's happening, and I think there's an avenue for it as well.
There is,
Yeah.
and it's just exceptional to see new forms of art and
Mhm.
storytelling merge.
Storytelling is great, man. It's so I again, we as artists and I hate to say as artists, but like
Well, we have to be
yeah,
artistic.
you got to be artistic. It's a
But
culinary
that's just a
art.
piece of it,
It's a
right?
piece of it, man. But the storytelling, it really just sort of wraps everything in a bow. And then when you can do it right, man, you know, you just have like it's a shared experience, it's a life experience, but then also there's a skill to it as well. There's an orating skill, like, you have to be able to speak and communicate very clearly. Like, there's certain people that, they can read a phone book and, like, just the way they speak and the way they sound, I'll just listen to them all day. You know what I
I
mean?
wish I was that fucking smooth.
Like, Barack
I need
Obama is
voice
one of those
coaching.
guys,
Yeah.
Rosie Perez is one of those, like, voices. I can literally, she can just read, like, the back of anything, and I'll just listen to her forever. Like that voice and the way her cadence is, her
Mhm.
pitch and everything, like it's
What a
a
legend.
legend. Sorry. So, when you have all of that and then you can do it with a cool medium like movie or food or whatever the case is, man, you couldn't guess.
Yo, are you ready for our, Flavorful 5?
You know what, man? Let's do it. I am ready.
Best sandwich you ever had?
I forget the name of the spot. It's a sandwich spot specifically. Forgive me. It's in Washington Heights, New York, right near Columbia University, and they do uh, uh, El Hibrito. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. It's a plantain sandwich where the bread is like smashed plantain, and it's
Mm,
it's insanely good. It's a sandwich that started in Chicago. It's a Puerto Rican by a Puerto Rican
okay.
couple, but it's a sandwich that started in Chicago, but they do their version in New York.
Like smashed fried, like a tostone, or
Like a tostone, 2 of them, and that's the bread, right? And in between, it's like, turkey, it's, onions, like caramelized onions, it's freaking good.
favorite street food?
My favorite street food is beef suya, like any suya in Ghana, and, go to any vendor, or fried fish. They're fanning the skewers, smell like the amber, and the coals sort of like, popping up. It's humble, it's dirty, it's right, it's
Mm.
delicious, it's all of the above,
Is
man.
suya like a sauce that's used on other, like, you know, goat and chicken too,
Yeah,
or
yeah, sky's the limit, man. You can go so many places with suya. It's peanut based,
okay,
and it's sort of like a dry rub. So you have it with mixed with cayenne and ginger, garlic. It's just it's freaking delicious. So yeah, suya.
dang.
Yeah,
Your personal holy grail of spices.
I say nutmeg.
I knew it.
Yeah, it's nutmeg. I love nutmeg. I love nutmeg in something sweet. I love nutmeg in something savory. I love nutmeg in a bechamel. I love nutmeg in
Yes.
a like. Come on, it's just a great all around like. It's the background sing. It's not a very starred like it's the background singer to like a Beyonce, but it's a
Mhm,
strong background
mhm.
singer. It's like it just sets it
I
off.
love it, yo.
Delicious.
It's so diverse and warming
Yeah.
and soulful. What's the one ingredient you think you probably overuse but
I'm gonna
don't
cut you
care?
off right there. It's garlic. It's garlic.
Hell yeah.
I listen, man. I'm a sucker for it. When the recipe says use 3 cloves, I'm like, huh.
Whole head? I think
Challenge
I'm
accepted.
like, "Are you kidding me,
Yeah,
dude?"
who
Like,
who does that? It's garlic in
I
any
wanna
form
fucking
or
taste
fashion.
it if it's gonna be there.
100%. I love garlic. I love the combination of ginger and garlic. We affectionately call it GGP in the restaurant. My mom has like quarts and quarts and quarts of that frozen ginger garlic puree.
Ginger garlic puree.
Yeah, yeah,
Rad.
yeah. So we
Equal
do
parts?
equal parts. Yeah. So it's equal parts ginger, garlic, oil to sort of blend it all together, and it's this like it's not by no means an invention. You see this prevalent in a lot of Indian food as well. But man, my mom would sometimes throw onion in there as well, as like a trifecta. But she would have, and I love this like method. She would have that like stock that up on a Sunday or a random day, and I'm literally like in the kitchen right now watching her do it. Blend it up, put it in pints containers, throw it in the freezer, and then whenever she's making a stew or sauce or a curry or whatever, take it out. A couple of a dollop would do you. You know what I mean? Throw it in there, and it just sets the tone for the dish. So yeah,
Yes.
ginger, garlic, ginger as well. I love
Your
ginger.
mom sounds like an amazing cook.
She's fantastic. She's my favorite home cook. Like she's truly the best. She's all throughout this cookbook, Gone into the World.
The
She's all
cookbook is beautiful.
thank you, bro. Thank you, thank you. She is the official taste tester of the restaurant. Man, she's coming in like, hey, need a little of this, need a little of that. Like, and she's keeping me honest. She's keeping the chefs honest. Like, that's the homie. Yeah.
It's amazing. I love that. Family matters so much,
Yeah.
like straight up. Shout outs to Carl Winslow.
Shout out to Carl Winslow. I love
I couldn't help it.
that. It was right there. It was a layup.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but I love that with like the thing with professional kitchens that's so dope is like you have all this mise en place and you have all of these like prepped out like flavor bombs that allow you to create and build something that's truly unique to
Yeah.
you. Like we do, I love to do a like a garlic confit where we'll just take like a 5 pound jug of already peeled garlic, put it in a 4 inch hotel pan, cover it with enough canola oil to be covered,
Yeah.
and then put a sheet of foil over it, oven, 300 degrees until it's like golden brown, creamy. There's no texture left. It's all just
Mush.
mush. And then we drain it. And then from there, that oil becomes we'll
Yes.
use that 2 more times. And then we go, okay, now this is our roasted garlic oil.
You
'Cause
use
it's
you use
triple.
that oil
I'll use
instead
that
of
oil to cook
yeah,
garlic cloves in again.
nice.
And once it's been used 3 times, that's when we stop using it,
Right.
and that's when we start putting it in squeeze bottles as garlic oil. But, like, in the meantime, you've got these Cambros full of just creamy garlic.
Love it.
You throw a spoon of it in the robot when
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
making a sauce or whatever. I mean, it's the same thing as the
yeah,
GGP. It's like
yeah.
you prep it out, and then it's like, "Hey, this needs that." And then your food starts to taste like your food because of
Yes.
it.
Yes, there's a thread, right, that's woven through all the dishes because you taste a little bit of that sort of like hallmark and everything. Everything has this unique sort of
Yeah,
profile.
nothing tastes the same,
Nothing tastes the
but it
same.
tastes like your food.
100.
So
100.
cool.
Yeah.
What's a dish that satisfies your soul, but you have to cook it because the ritual and joy of cooking it brings you back to center?
Um, the humble chicken, brick chicken. I can just yeah, I think it was one of the first dishes that I learned properly how to technique-wise to do, uh, Adam's shop, in New York, worked in DC with him as well, uh, eh, and Mark Forgione as well. Mark Forgione was the chef that really, like, just a simple, very humble chicken,
What year did you
was that with
was
Mark?
this? Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
were
yeah.
the
This
brick
is
chicken.
2011,
Okay.
2012, yeah, right before I moved to England, and, um, full circle, man, I'm cooking with Chef Mark later this year, another chef that, man, I was a knucklehead as a my cook, bro. But another chef that took the time out and humbled me in the best ways possible, and really was patient with patience and grace. And I'm so thankful for it because now, like, I'm looking at my line cooks, the knuckleheads, and I'm like, patience and grace. You know what I mean? It's full circle. But uh, through my knuckleheadness, I learned this amazing dish, and it was served at Forge, this half chicken, and just pan juices, butter, very simple, like just straight to the
Yes.
point cooking. And I can eat that 3, 4 times a week, man. Give me with different, like a side salad or some rice or potatoes or
Mhm.
whatever. My daughter loves it. It's kind of our go-to. Yeah, so I'll do that, man. We got a little bit of some chimichurri, some pickled Fresnos, that we'll serve that up with, and just straight to the point.
Did you snatch that, mise
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
chef?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Chef
yeah.
that's pro chef
That's a
move.
pro chef move, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I made it before yesterday. Why do it again?
For the people that are only listening, and not watching, like many of these episodes, there's gonna be deli cups with blue tape and fucking labels in this kitchen
Yeah, yeah,
because that is one of the treats of being the head cheese.
yeah, yeah. I can bring in, the me's from the day before, and I need this, guys. Just
Yeah.
I love what we do, bro.
I noticed that you have this thing where you're like, "Oh, Imma put that in my back pocket."
Yeah.
So I had something in my back pocket for her, bruh. This is straight out of my personal archives.
What do we
This
got?
is just fucking nostalgia, bro. Oh, that's just a it's just a pack of, like,
No.
basketball cards that are
No.
30 years old that are in mint
No.
condition,
Get Patrick Ewing.
and it's every single New York Knicks card from that year's set,
You can't be
plus
serious.
the insert cards, whatever they're called, like, when they're the hard ones to get. That's why those Ewing joints are I think there's 3
3
Ewing
of
cards in
20?
there.
Yo, you got Mace? What? Harper?
Bro, I don't even
Oh,
know why I
man.
have the boxes to those, like, what kinda kid keeps all this shit?
You got Oakley, the enforcer, Mr. Starks himself. Yo, this is legendary.
Dude, they're, like, in a closet in my house,
How?
not collecting dust because it's in a sealed box, but
What?
for some reason, I saw it when I was packing, and I was like, "Yo, Imma pull out the
This
Knicks
is crazy. crazy. Yo, I can't have this, man.
Just put it in your sock drawer and forget they exist.
I can't have it. This is too much.
It's just a piece of like nostalgia. I feel like these little things. It's like a cookbook. You touch it and you look at it and it makes you smile.
Yo, Sam, this is fucking amazing, bro.
Look, it's the least I could do considering how shitty the Knicks are. Please get these cards out of my house.
You gotta leave. Yo, that is totally uncalled for, but absolutely hilarious.
I didn't plan that either, dude. You created a safe space for me.
I'm glad you feel that comfortable to rat on my Knicks, who did all right this season, but this right here is nostalgic, man. You know why I love this so much? I'm reminded of my dad, who I inherited my fandom from, because we would watch this team back in the 90s, man, go at it classically. We didn't win much, but they were local champions to us, man. And Mace and Starks and Harper and Ewing. As soon as I open, I see Patrick Ewing going for that classic finger roll. I'm like, bro.
This was like, I think, the team of your coming of age.
Yes.
You're like, what, 7 years old, 8
Yeah.
years? This is when sports mean the most to you
100%.
as a kid.
Exactly.
And that's why I was like, I got to bring these, man.
Are you giving this to me?
Yeah. It's a little,
God bless you.
it's a little lagniappe, as they say in New Orleans.
Oh, man. I will cherish this like nobody's business. Thank you so much, bro.
Hey, thanks for having me here in your home. You've been an amazing host.
I appreciate it, man. You're welcome anytime. This is incredible, man. Truly, man. I've done obviously a few pods before, so if I can love on you for a little bit, man, it's cool to talk to someone who is so passionate, knows the industry like the back of his hand, but can transform one medium to the next and have these really cool conversations. It's not the run of the mill, sort of questions, man. We talked about a lot. And I'm so happy and appreciative of you taking the time out to come up here, spend a little bit of time at the restaurant, spend some time in my home. And bro, I really truly mean it, man. I hope we can stay connected and
100%.
God bless you, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, God bless you. That means the world to me. It gives me goosebumps. This feeds my soul, these conversations. I hope that it'll have an impact, that it'll help people understand what we do in a more authentic way that's not produced. And just remember, like, if we make mistakes, there's so much on the line, but we truly come at it from a place of passion and care. And we love what we do, and we're grateful for our teams. We're grateful for our customers and our communities. And we're trying to make the world a better place with food. But you might come into our restaurant and get a fucked up dish once, or like on a bad night, but just give us a chance. We're people.
Yeah, 100%. Well said. This is a lot of fun, man. And thank you for this. This means a lot, bro.
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Repertoire is part of Heritage Radio Network, where we're on a mission to build a more sustainable and equitable food future. And your engagement is what keeps the lights on. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that subscribe button and drop a comment. The Good Food Movement is all about community, and together we can make a meaningful impact.